Are you tired of looking at Ridley? Then stop looking. Start listening. He can't annoy your eye if he only reaches your ear. The way out is clear. It's the Ridley Report audio podcast. RidleyReport.podomatic.com.
I'm not offhand. I'd have to look at the name of the case, so thank you for asking. I'll talk to you later.
Senator-elect Kelly Ayotte may favor aggressive warfare and aggressive attacks on marijuana users. She may be a main reason why New Hampshire's government has yet to fully embrace self-defense. But she and the political party she belongs to both have rights. Whatever the law may or may not say, the non-aggression principle tells us they can kick anyone off private property. That is, if that property is under their legitimate control. If that property is not publicly funded.
Are there other media inside?
Now, the thing that you need to be clear about is that you're not going inside.
But there is a political price to pay when you invite the media to your events, then pick and choose which reporters to kick out. And when one of those reporters fights back in court, it's appropriate to observe and to tell the public what happened in there. Despite his understanding that I've come to support politicians' property rights, Nashua videographer Chris King hires me to observe his fight for access. If Kelly Ayotte rents a private space and invites the media, he wants in. As the hearing enters roughly its second hour, Judge Landia Boyer McCafferty asks King, if you can't get into her events, quote, how will you suffer irreparable harm, unquote. What other events will you want into, she asks. I don't recall Chris's answer, but if I know Chris, his answer is probably all of them, or at least all of them to which the lapdog media is invited in the area. King then brings up what he calls support for Ayotte on a racist web forum. So racist, in fact, I cannot comfortably speak its name. Let's just call it N-word mania.
You keep talking to me. I'm doing my job, please. I'm not talking to you.
Now, obviously, no one can control who supports them, but as you saw in part 2, King has asked Kelly Ayotte in person if she'll renounce their alleged support.
Hey, Kelly, do you accept the support from Nigger Mania or not? Do you accept the online support you're getting from Nigger Mania or not? That's not yes or no question.
She's responded with silence. He says, quote, she'll take any vote she can get as long as we keep the expletive deleted out, unquote. Of course, the expletive in this case is N-word. In response, Jack B. Middleton rises for the defense. His very presence is an indicator just how much concern the GOP has over King's lawsuit. Middleton is the president of a gigantic New England law firm that lists 100 attorneys on its payroll. Speaking in an energetic tone, almost devoid of legalese, he says never has the court received this type of petition. It is, he says, murky, obtuse, containing elements that have nothing to do with New Hampshire. He objects to portions of the King videos, not to their existence, but to their being shown in court. He notes that one of them has inflammatory, unrelated images of the Ku Klux Klan. He calls King's grievance a rambling personal vendetta as opposed to a legitimate First Amendment case. Such a case, he says, must apply to state action, and his expulsion isn't state action. The 50-year vet of the legal profession says, quote, we're here solely to move this forward and to get rid of it, unquote. He points out you had to buy tickets to these events that King was kicked out of. Although, in fairness, we should point out that Chris King did try to buy tickets. Middleton says other events, including the Vice President's visit to New Hampshire, have been ruled private by the Concord Federal Court. Now, the rest of this series I will complete mostly by my audio podcast. But before we get there, I would like to show you the rest of the video I took outside the Fed building.
Okay. I'm trying to think of something intelligent to ask you. Do you think independent media should be blocked from events like this on any kind of normal basis?
RidleyReport.podomatic.com